and welcome to creating a single page website using Bootstrap 5. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create from start to finish a single page website using the Bootstrap 5 framework. So to get started, I need to set up my root folder. This is key and critical to making your site work. Do not think that you can have files just wherever the heck you feel like them. A proper root folder is important to making your site work, and more importantly, making your site work online when you transition it to an online server. So what I've done is I've created a new folder and I've named it the title of my site, so it's going to be Southwest Vet Site. Within this folder, I'm going to create a new folder and I'm just going to call it CSS. I prefer to use all lowercase. Some people do use uppercase. Just be aware that it's case specific, so whatever you're set with. It's nice to have a convention that you always follow. I'm going to create another folder and I'm going to name it JS for my JavaScript files, and I'm going to create another new folder and I'm going to title that Images. So now that I've got those three folders set up, I'm going to put my CSS in here. When I create my CSS file, I'm going to put all of my images in the Images folder, and then I'm going to put my scripting files in the JavaScript folder. If you are ever using any type of additional assets, sometimes it's nice to have an assets folder in there as well. These folders can get more complicated, but I'm keeping it simple and basic. But be aware that this is where everything should be stored for your site. So now that I have that set up, I'm going to jump into my code editor. I'm going to create a new file. And I'm just going to, before I do anything, I'm going to save it. It's going to ask me where I'd like to save that. I currently have this sitting on, there's my root folder, and I'm going to name my homepage index.html. Your homepage should always be index.html. I'm going to save that in there. Got that blank file, so now if I jump back out of here, you can see that it's in that root folder. So now I'm going to jump on to Get Bootstrap site and check out what we've got going on Bootstrap. So it's important to be aware whenever you're starting a new project is what version they're working on. Currently, the newest version is 5. So you can see currently 5.1.1. There are older versions that you can get on here. Just be aware that if you're moving around or if you're trying to develop for older versions of Internet Explorer, or you're trying to be a little more stable for people who may be using older versions of different software, you may have to go back versions. If you're on W3, they actually have 3, 4, and now 5 online for you to check out those references. So just be hyper aware of which version you're working in. If you're picking up working on an older site, double check that framework to see which one, because certain things in 5 are not going to work in 4 and vice versa. So be aware of what version you are working with. I'm going to go ahead and click Get Started. And the great thing about Bootstrap is it's pretty easy to get going right out of the box. So I like to just grab their starter template, which is right here. When looking at this, you can see it's got their CSS, it's got their JavaScript, it's got it bundled. You can separate it. You can use Bootstrap is compartmentalized like that you can build your own custom working version of Bootstrap, which is cool. But I'm just going to use their basic starter template that's got everything in here. I'm going to go ahead and hit copy. I'm going to jump back over to my Atom code editor. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go ahead and open this in my browser plus. And I can see there's my hello world. So I've now gotten started. I have my root folder set up and ready. I've got my template popped in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and start building. So that's how you get started with the Bootstrap framework. I will catch you on the next one, and we will start developing this site.